Hi, Graham. So,
Yeah.
as you know that the United Nations, we have got different main organs, like the Criminal Court and also the Security Council. So, how do you think these two agencies can work together? And probably, I don't know if they need to change to create a better international justice.
Okay, that's a huge question, isn't it?
Sorry. Do you reckon that these two agencies doesn't work together, and that is why United Nations being seen to be incompetent of resolving important world issues?
I haven't ever looked into the relationship between the Security Council and the International Court of Justice, but my presumption is that they work as quite separate institutions.
I see. Okay.
But you know, this is a sort of interesting question that we can set as a project for somebody within UN Youth or as an intern. It's an excellent question, and it's excellent because I've never thought to look at it. I've only looked at them separately, and we think of them as having their own problems. But you've asked the question of the interaction between them. But then when you talk about justice, you know, you also then got to look at the relationship between the UN and the International Criminal Court, which had to be set up because the major powers within the UN prevented it from becoming a reality within the UN system. So when you talk about justice, the ICJ only deals with disputes between states parties. And there are many other aspects of injustice in the world that the UN cannot handle at a judicial level. So my initial response to your question is that there is not a significant relationship between the work of the Security Council and the work of the ICJ.
Okay, thank you. There's a lot that I learned today, to be honest. Like, my knowledge on this is not very deep, but there was a lot of things that I learned. And there's a lot of amazing speakers today with your experience and all your very useful information. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I think we are at the end of our session. So just before I pass over to Peter, I just wanted to take another moment to thank our panelists, because I didn't really had the chance to thank them. Nicholas Walbridge, Terry Johansson, Kelly Mackey, and Nicola Hill. They were really amazing. Thank you so much again. And also to Graham, Dr. Nega, and Mark. Thank you for your perspective on United Nations. I think what we are looking forward is that for a change, basically. But we are talking about 75 years. We have been talking, we have been addressing, we addressed the problems of United Nations not being functioning very well. But I think moving forward, what we want to see, we all want to see, is a change. So on to you, Peter.
Thanks very much, Gaia, and thanks also to the panelists. Nagara, I'm very conscious of your comment about acknowledging the forums to keep the conversations going in various areas. And in that regard, I just point you to the chat column and the item, I think it's 2 up, that Grace Southern, the president of the Tauranga branch, has inserted there about the seminar that is on our website in relation to COVID-19 and security issues and breakout discussions and so on, to keep that conversation going. So there's no doubt that we're trying to maintain a degree of activity and progress in these areas. We've had people from all around the world tune in for today's conference. We've had people from Hawaii, from Prague, from Europe, from I think the mountains of Nepal, and of course from Queensland. Graham, it's great to have you dialing in, as well as people from all over New Zealand. We've been privileged to hear the thoughts of leading commentators, diplomats, academics, politicians, and of course that youth perspective that's so valuable, Mark, as president of UN Youth. Their reflections on the UN at 75 have been insightful. I think that's the word of the day, educational, and they enhance the United Nations Association of New Zealand's journey to promote engagement with the UN. Despite the challenges that it might have, and perhaps a topic that we might consider next time around is how do we unplug the arteries of the UN to ensure that it stays alive. I thank all the speakers for making the time to prepare and deliver at our national conference. I also thank Vice President Gaia for moderating today and Wendy Hart for arranging and coordinating today's conference, the rehearsal, and keeping all the IT connections flowing. The video of the conference and resources such as panelists' presentations will be uploaded to the UNANZ website, and you will receive an alert when that happens. We encourage you to share with your networks to keep this conversation alive. If you are not yet a member, and I'm sure after today's wonderful conference that you will want to join, then we welcome you and invite you to visit the UNANZ website, and also you can connect with us, of course, on social media. Thank you for your attendance and support. I normally conclude with a proverb or a whakatoki. In this context, as we reflect on the UN at 75, this whakatoki, I think, is most apt. Te tiro whakamuri, ko kiri whakamua. Look back and reflect so that you can move forward. That concludes this United Nations National Conference for 2020. Thank you for making our first virtual conference such a success, and we welcome you to our future events, particularly as we mark this, the 75th year of the United Nations. Thank you.
Thank you.